Hello, my name is Joseph Nguyen, and I'm with Lanch by Pepelwerk. And today it's Veterans Day, and I have Sergeant Manzie with me today. So how are you doing today, sir?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
No problem, no problem. And so here at Lanch, we're helping young adults explore their possible career options after high school. And so what led you to the path of being a Marine?
Well, I graduated high school in 2009. I ran track all of high school. I thought I was pretty good. I was a pole vaulter. I got a partial track scholarship to go to college, so that's what I did. That's the path that my parents wanted me to do. That's honestly the only path I kind of knew about. So I went to college. It was a private school. I enjoyed it. I had a good time. However, it was fairly expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had an older brother who I looked up to. He was in the Army for 5 years. And when my first year of college was coming to an end, I honestly didn't really want to start off life in tons of debt, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel that.
So I spoke to my brother. I always looked up to him. He always had great stories about the military, so I kind of started looking into that.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was back in 2011 when I decided to join. And I'm the baby of the family. I have two older brothers.
Mm-hmm.
So when I told my parents I was excited to join the military, I was looking into the Army or possibly the Marine Corps. And my mom, she wasn't having it at the time. My brother, my parents, they kind of pushed me towards the Air Force to look into it because I guess the conception of the Air Force is it's more of a academic type of branch.
Okay.
So that's where I kind of went. I joined the Air Force in 2011. I was a vehicle operator. I worked in logistics, and I had a great time. I enjoyed my time in the Air Force. However, I was fortunate enough to work with other branches such as the Army, Navy, and the Marine Corps. And every time I worked with the Marines, it was kind of, I felt kind of drawn to them a little bit more than my airmen that I had working alongside me. And I love the camaraderie that the Marine Corps had, how they held themselves, how they did business. Everything about them when I got the chance to work with them kind of spoke to me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So when I turned 25 years old, and I was my own man at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Still respect my parents, obviously, but at that time I still wanted to be a Marine. So I decided to make the switch, and I've been doing that ever since.
Mm-hmm. And so that's what you said you like about it. It's more that camaraderie. Camaraderie? Yeah. Oh, cut that. Okay. That kind of camaraderie kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And so that's what kind of like led you to that path. And so why would the Marines be a good path for in general?
I would say the Marines is a phenomenal path for any young adult coming out of high school, because a lot of the times, like I said earlier, when I was graduating high school, all I knew was about college. My high school told me about college, colleges told me about college, and my parents also told me about college. I didn't really know there was many other options. I know the military existed, but I don't know. It just wasn't in the back of my head. And I like to tell individuals now that you have more options other than college. If you want to serve, you have. You say you're patriotic, you love this nation, or you want to better yourself, you want to get out of your local town, you want to learn a trade or a skill, and you still want to continue college, because what I like to say is people either go to college and they don't join the military, or people join the military and they continue on with their college. So.
Yeah, it's kind of wild because here at Lanch by Pepelwerk, we're helping people find that there's other options and other routes, not just college. And kids are just learning these skills that are like more applicable. Because I wish after high school I knew that there was other options, as well as being able to learn how to do like a tax form, or like understanding how to get that upper hand on people, and having skills after high school and then applying for an actual job could be more handy. Because one of the interesting demographic is that people with skills and a degree get hired more than people just with a degree coming out of college, and people don't know that as a reality. And so like we're just trying to help bridge that gap to get people with experience to get what they want to do career-wise, or it might not even be that case at college. It could be for them. They could go straight into the military or trade school, or just depending on what their profession is.
Right. Actually, speaking on that topic, where you said individuals who have experience and a degree typically get hired over people who just have a degree. That's true, but also you have to think about it as well. If you're an employer and you're looking to hire individuals, one with a degree, one with experience and a degree, or one with experience, a degree, and you know they're a veteran, who would you hire?
Exactly.
Experience is one thing, but where you get your experience also counts as well. Because as a Marine, not only are you getting we have avenues for you to get your degree, you will get experience, but also things that come along with that are the intangibles, such as, your leadership and management skills, just your pride of belonging, your self-discipline, your self-reliance, your self-direction. Your employer doesn't need to worry about you having those things because they're instilled into you as a Marine.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And that would probably be like, in a sense, that would be a good incentive for young adults, you would say, to join the Marines. That's something that they'll get out of it.
Oh, most definitely. Because, don't get me wrong, not here to talk bad about any other branch.
Oh, yeah.
But as far as the Marine Corps, I would say the difference is, because I did serve in the Air Force for 5 years, and I wanted to switch to be a Marine because of those intangible things, of that pride of belonging, of that self-discipline, the things that Marines are known for. That is what spoke to me, and that's kind of what gives us the edge over the other services. The Army's good, Navy's good, Air Force is good, but once you're a Marine, you're always a Marine.
It's funny because I did have a friend. He was in the Marines as well, so he went through all the boot camp. But I know for sure, like growing up with him, he's very after he got out, he's very time management. He was always on point. And he was like, I get up early, I do this and this, and I'm just like, I'm a night owl, that's not my vibe, but, I can see the productivity that really does come with his discipline as well, that you're installing in him. So that'll be a good incentive. And so I guess one of the big questions is, what are the misconceptions with Marine recruiters and recruiters in general?
Sure, yeah, no, that's a great question. There's a lot of misconceptions when it comes to the military. One, especially about the Marines, is if you join the Marines, everyone's infantry. We don't have any skills. You're just you go and you fight the war or whatever. That couldn't be further than the truth. In the Marine Corps, yes, we are all riflemen. Every Marine knows how to handle their weapon systems, but we have over 300 technical jobs in the Marine Corps. We do have the infantry if that's something you want to do, but if you qualify for, you can choose other technical trades to learn in the Marine Corps, such as welding, engineering, cybersecurity, things like that that are extremely applicable outside of the Marine Corps.
Yeah, a lot of people, they don't really know that. For the most part, I just looked at it as if I join the Marines, I'll just be, I'm going to war, I'm risking my life. I didn't know that until I think my friend told me. He's like, no, there's other jobs and avenues that can help me out. And I think one of the jobs that he applied for, he used his Marines background, and he got second into the job, and he's applying for a job next year, and he's practically guaranteed to have it over many applicants due to the skills that you guys offer. And so that's what we're trying to do here, is trying to give light to possible avenues and skills that people don't know that are available, that are actually available and attainable. I know with the Marines, you got to go through the training and the hard work to get it, but you will be able to, for the most part, get to that point where you would want. And we're just trying to show others that this is a possible route, might as well other routes like internships and you can look into.
Sure. So just to kind of touch on other misconceptions about the military as well, especially the Marine Corps, is other branches get paid more, or other branches have better things, this, that, and the other. It's not true. All of our educational benefits from the Marines are the same across the board. We all get paid the same. I can vouch for that. I served in another branch.
Yeah. I'm not down you. I'm not down you at all. Yeah.
So there are a lot of different misconceptions. I would say to anyone, any young adult who is interested in the military, just go to your local Marine Corps office, talk to the recruiter, ask the questions, because we don't know if you're interested, because we're going to ask you, we're going to call, we might see you out in town, we're going to ask, hey, have you ever had interest in the military? If you did, please go see your local recruiter, ask them all the questions you want. Go if you go into a recruiter's office, there's no commitment. You're not joining.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people, they're afraid to come in the office.
That's true.
They think like, oh, I don't want to sign anything. That's not how
I don't want to sign my life away,
That's not how it works. You come into the office, we sit down, I ask you what's important about your life, what do you want to do in life, and then I'll ask you some screening questions to see if you're even basically qualified, because that's another thing. People who are interested may not even be qualified, and a lot of people don't know that. Everyone thinks like, oh, I could join the military whenever I want to. That's not true.
Right.
I would say about 75% of young adults are not qualified for the military. It's actually a pretty big number. However, go into the local recruiter's office, ask them the questions. They'll ask you screening questions. If you are qualified, then they'll tell you about the Marine Corps, or that's how I do it. I talk about the Marine Corps, see if it lines up to what you find important in life, and if it's something you want to do and pursue, awesome, great. I'm here to help you out. If not, no worries, but now at least you got the information and you have a reason as to why the Marine Corps is not for you, opposed to just shutting that opportunity for no reason.
And then also, like, an incentive also is like, I know you can say that they might not be a fit, but then you can also say that, even if it's not a fit here, we can also help you find a connection here.
Exactly.
Something like that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So I actually do that a lot with my applicants. When I talk to them about the Marine Corps and what's important to them, if it turns out that the Marine Corps isn't something that they want to pursue, I always tell them if service is something they want to do, please do not give up just because it didn't work out here. Go see the other branches, because I'm a product of it. I joined a branch, I served in it, it was great. However, at my core, it wasn't for me. That's why I ultimately decided to switch. So if you're interested in the military, please talk to every branch, see which one fits you if that's something you want to do, and gather as much information as you possibly can.
So what's the most important thing to tell like parents, son and daughters, kind of like mom and dad, about just like a general thing about the Marines? Like that comes into like being scared of being in combat and stuff like that.
Yeah, sure. No, that's a great question. It's also a very common question. Parents, I would say, moms especially, understandable that when their son or daughter is interested in the military, especially the Marine Corps, their first thought is my baby going to be safe? Are they going to war? Are they going to combat? I know you guys are the Marines. That's a very common question. And what I tell to parents and mothers, I always say, because they're worried about the danger. And, I'm going to be, just perfectly honest, I can't promise that they're not going to be in dangerous situations, because they very well, could be. However, what I would say is, depending on their job, that plays a huge role in it. Because as a Marine, not every Marine is in the infantry. There are Marines who are engineers, Marines that are cybersecurity, Marines that are aircraft mechanics, diesel mechanics, things like that. And you have to understand, in order to be certified on an aircraft, to be a mechanic for that aircraft, it takes training such as 8 months long. And if you were to deploy, forward deploy in defense of this nation, say Iraq or Afghanistan, we're no longer there, but if, just as an example, if a Marine who is an aircraft mechanic deploys to Iraq, that Marine isn't going to be kicking down doors, locating and closing with the enemy. That Marine is going to Iraq to fix that aircraft that he's trained to fix, because you can't just take all of that training, 8 months of training, and then tell him to do a different job kind of thing. That's not how it works.
Right. And
if you could imagine locating and closing with the enemy, that also takes a lot of training. Not everyone can do that. Tactics is a huge skill to have. So I would say with full confidence that about 95% of the military will never see combat, because not every military member is in the infantry or some combat-related role. So we all support the infantry. We all support those combat roles. That's the lifeblood of the Marine Corps is the infantry.
Right.
But not every Marine is going to be boots on the ground doing things like that. So I try and tell parents that. It may or may not set them at ease, but it's something that they don't think about most of the time.
Yeah, I think it's more like you can't guarantee, because they're still in the field of battle. Like you can't guarantee they're not going to be shot.
You are still deployed. into other nations. And the thing is, we do have our bases that we're on, but I can't promise anything. But the thing is, you also have to think about if your son or daughter goes to college, can they get into a car crash? Hopefully they don't, obviously. Right. No one wishes that, but life happens every single day, so you never know, kind of thing.
So this is Joseph Wynn with Launch by Pepelwerk, and happy Veterans Day to everyone out there. This is Sergeant Manzie. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you guys so much.
Thanks for watching.
And thanks for watching.